Welcome to the graduating class of 2024 and your families. I don't need to tell you, but this commencement is especially momentous given the fact that your high school graduations 4 years ago were curtailed by the pandemic and that you began your college journey without all of the typical fanfare. We are so excited, honored, and grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate you and your accomplishments. I hope that you're feeling a profound sense of pride and joy in reaching this day. Leaving home and arriving at college is a big deal. But this moment of leaving college is perhaps an even bigger deal. You've had these 4 years to explore, grow, and learn, and now it's time to truly leave the nest. There is an ancient rabbinic text, a midrash, which comments on a verse of Torah where God bestows the name Betzalel on a gifted craftsman. The midrash discusses the various ways that we acquire our names. It begins, every time a person does a good deed, they earn a good name for themselves. A good name in rabbinic texts is the same thing as a reputation, a good reputation. The midrash continues. You find that a person is known by 3 names: the name their father and mother call them, the name other people call them, and the name the person earns for themselves. The most important name, the midrash says, is the one that the person earns for themselves. Growing up, your identity was formed in relationship to your parents. Then you came to Trinity and gained a more complex sense of yourselves through your classes and the on-campus communities that you are part of. These contexts of family and community have nurtured and shaped you. Yet the midrash makes clear that it is your individual actions and good deeds that ultimately determine how you will be known in the world. When people ask me about Trinity, I always say the same thing. Trinity students are kind. Sure, you're smart and hardworking and talented in various ways, but my overall takeaway after 2 years on this campus is that you are kind. In the words of the midrash, during your time here at Trinity, you have earned a good name. As you go forth, my hope is that you continue to add to your good name, one good deed at a time.
Good morning and welcome to everyone. To the class of 2024, I wish you a heartfelt congratulations on your tremendous accomplishments. And let's not forget to thank those who made your success possible. I would suggest that you rise as you're able and give a round of applause to those who supported you throughout your time at Trinity College, your faculty, staff, family, and friends. Thank you. You may be seated. And now, please welcome the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Lisa Bisaccia.
Good morning, class of 2024. Today, you will join a venerable group of Trinity alumni who are known for being deeply devoted to one another and actively engaged with their alma mater. Our Bantam alumni demonstrate their support for Trinity every year through continued involvement at the college, through mentorship, and through philanthropy. This passion has already taken root in the class of 2024 as its members have successfully rallied to support your senior class gift. I especially want to thank the campaign committee for their devotion. Cece Bennett, Maggie Amaral, Alex Blakely, Nikki Blum, Egan DeWitt, Olivia Domingos, Ben Lee, Cece Morello, Abby Nick, Chloe Slater, and Kelly Thomas. Let's give them a round of applause. We are proud to welcome all of you to our network of dedicated and remarkable alumni. Thank you for being committed to our future. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to announce the Trustee Awards for faculty, for staff, and for student excellence. You can read more about these awards and this year's winners in the printed commencement program. The Award for Faculty Excellence is presented annually to faculty members whose achievements in scholarship, teaching, and one or more other areas of professional, civic, or personal endeavor exemplify Trinity's highest standards of excellence and bring distinction to the institution. I present this award to Michelle Kovarik, the Gregory C. Mario Class of '87 Associate Professor of Chemistry. Also receiving the award for Faculty Excellence is Garth A. Myers, the Paul E. Rather Distinguished Professor of Urban International Studies, who unfortunately could not join us today, but congratulations to Garth. The Award for Staff Excellence is presented annually to staff members whose professional, civic, and/or personal achievements exemplify Trinity College's high standards of excellence and bring distinction to our institution. I present this award to Elizabeth Landell Simon, Administrative Assistant for Physics, Environmental Science, Public Policy and Law, and Philosophy. And from the class of 2024, the Award for Student Excellence is presented annually to full-time seniors who have compiled outstanding academic records and whose achievements in one or more areas of activity, such as athletics, campus or community service, or leadership, exemplify the highest standards of excellence to which all students aspire. I present this award to Artie Carolina Lamberg. Sorry. Congratulations. I'd also like to present the 2024 Award for Student Excellence to Bernardo Simoes. Congratulations. Good luck to you. Let me ask for another round of applause for Michelle, Garth, Elizabeth, Artie, and Benny. And now I'd like to ask you to welcome Associate Dean for Faculty Development and Professor of Theater and Dance, Mitch Poland.
It is my privilege as Associate Dean to present the Thomas Church Brownell Prize for Teaching Excellence and the Dean Arthur H. Hughes Award for Achievement in Teaching. Named for Trinity's founding president, the Thomas Church Brownell Prize is awarded annually to a senior member of the faculty who has demonstrated a consistent record of outstanding teaching. This year's recipient is David Morrow, Professor of Mathematics. The Dean Arthur H. Hughes Award for Achievement in Teaching recognizes faculty members who are in the relatively early stages of their careers with fewer than 10 years of service to the college and have demonstrated excellence in teaching. This year's recipients are Ibrahim Shikaki, Assistant Professor of Economics. Also receiving the Dean Arthur H. Hughes Award this year, Xunyuan Zhang, Assistant Professor of International Studies and Women, Gender, and Sexuality. She is not here today, but congratulations. I'd like to ask Secretary of the Faculty and Professor of Music, Eric Gaume, to come forward.
At Trinity's first commencement in 1827, following a long-standing medieval tradition, each graduating student was to touch a Bible before receiving a diploma. Unfortunately, things did not go according to plan. In the middle of the ceremony, Bishop Brownell, Trinity's founder and first president, suddenly realized that no one had remembered to bring a Bible. Thinking quickly, Brownell immediately substituted this small leather-bound notebook that contained his own handwriting, the script of the commencement exercises. This precious book has been touched by members of each graduating class on commencement day since Trinity's first commencement. On behalf of the faculty, I now present it to you, our president, that you may once again place it in the hands of those who are about to be graduated.
I accept this book, held in the faculty's loyal custody, and I gratefully thank all members of the faculty for educating these scholars in the tradition of Trinity College. Thank you. Another tradition is the selection by a committee of students, faculty, and administrators of a member of the graduating class to deliver an address on behalf of their peers. Please welcome this year's speaker, Arthie Lamberg. I think we just keep applauding her until she makes it up to the front of the stage. Welcome, Arthie.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here. My name is Arthie, and I'm honored to be graduating with the rest of my class today. I come to you with an ask. I want you all to reflect on how you will be an advocate throughout your life. I am a human rights major, so I am and will continue to be an advocate for basic human rights for all. Now, I don't want anyone to zone out because you heard that I'll be making a change maker kind of speech, because I'm talking to each and every one of you. I have a simple message and a simple request, which is to spread love, kindness, and take charge of your own decisions, your humanity, and your role in the world. Let's take a moment to reflect on who we were when we set foot here in August of 2020. Personally, I was masked, sweaty, equally self-conscious, excited, and terrified, completely unsure of what was going to unfold in those next few days or over the next few years. Many of us were in the COVID class with no high school graduation. Some of us feel cheated from certain experiences, and I want to acknowledge that we, like everyone else on the planet, have been through a lot. I am in awe of our perseverance. Now I'd like you to think of who you are today, sitting here moments before crossing the stage and entering the real world. Our world today, and the technology in it, is rapidly evolving. It's so easy to get swirled into this constant evolution and lose sight of our core beliefs. So I ask you all to slow down. I ask that you allow yourselves a few moments every day to breathe and to make sure you're doing what you can to spread love and positivity. What I want you all to understand is that we hold much more power than we think. I certainly feel helpless when every day on the news I hear about genocide, our dying planet, and people's basic human rights being taken away. Arguably, we can't all do something momentous in an instant, but we can choose to return to our inner humanity, to look up from our devices, and to see one another as fellow people. Now, I know I might sound like a boomer, but I really mean it. One thing I learned at Trinity that I will carry with me forever is that we're all a lot more similar than we think. We're quick to write others off as so different from ourselves that there's no point in trying to connect. To me, this thought is a very small form of a larger division that causes hate, war, crime, and interpersonal violence. If you think your future career and destiny is in no way related to any form of advocacy, I ask that you open your eyes and reflect on your position in the world. How are you privileged? How are you underrepresented? What can you do to help other people? What can you do to challenge your preconceived notions and to make a friend vastly different from you? Can you say hi or start a conversation with someone you barely know? How can you change one tiny aspect of the world? And I mean tiny. We are told repeatedly that our generation is going to save the world. This is a lot of pressure. A lot of us will try, are trying, and must try to save the world because we don't have the privilege to neglect the oppressions we face. If you don't experience daily oppression, how are you going to get involved in making small changes? Can you find a connection between yourself and people who are struggling? Will that make you care to use the power you hold to make this world a better place? Technology is leading us to think that we can't function without it. It is robbing us of our ability to make decisions. We have become so dependent on technology that when the Wi-Fi goes out, we panic and our lives seem to crumble. I'm certainly not exempt from this reliance. However, last summer, at a Human Rights Study Abroad program, I learned in more depth about how we're losing our power to technology. This is a terrifying notion to me, but one thing we have that technology doesn't are emotions, and emotions are deeply powerful. For 4 years, we have been told to be bold, independent thinkers. Let us continue accomplishing great feats with patience and awareness of the power we hold and the ability to spread kindness wherever we are in the world, whatever we're doing. I ask this of the future economists, computer scientists, dancers, politicians, engineers, and historians. How will you use your Trinity education and future career to be a change maker in this life? Thank you.
Thank you, Arthi. The most distinguished honor an academic institution may bestow upon an individual is an honorary degree. Each year, we honor a small number of people who have made enduring contributions to society and to the world through their personal and professional endeavors. In numerous and diverse ways, these individuals exemplify the mission of Trinity College and reflect our values as an educational institution. May I ask Luke A. Bronin to approach the podium? As an attorney, politician, and veteran, you have devoted your career to service to others and have established yourself as a fierce advocate for the greater good. When elected as the 67th mayor of Hartford in 2016, you made a promise to build a stronger city for all residents through a vision of optimism, collaboration, and true grit. You delivered on that promise, and we, the City of Hartford and Trinity College, are among the beneficiaries. For 200 years, the college has been both in and of Hartford, and today, after your very successful 8-year term as mayor, the relationship between the City of Hartford and Trinity College is as strong and fruitful as ever. In recognition of your determined spirit, your profound influence in service to Hartford and our nation, and the care with which you led, I have the honor of presenting you, Luke A. Bronin, for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Sarah C. Bronin, if you would approach the podium with Jason. It is through your passion for preservation that you have become one of our country's leading voices and preeminent authorities on historic preservation law. You are a proud Mexican-American architect, attorney, policymaker, and professor. And your interdisciplinary research focuses on how law and policy can foster more equitable, sustainable, well-designed, and connected places. Nominated by President Joe Biden, you were confirmed by unanimous consent of the U.S. Senate to serve as the 12th chair of the Advisory Council on Historic Preservation, where you lead the preservation, enhancement, and sustainable use of our nation's diverse historic resources and advise the President and Congress on national historic preservation policy. In recognition of your enormous contributions to the greater good as a public servant, academician, and attorney, I have the honor of presenting you, Sarah C. Bronin, for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Danny Meyer, Trinity class of 1980. Please approach. For 4 decades, you've pioneered a new era of experiences for your guest, community, suppliers, and investors. Responsible for some of New York's most beloved, popular, and acclaimed restaurants, including Gramercy Tavern and The Modern, you also founded Shake Shack, the modern-day roadside burger restaurant with more than 500 locations around the world. You have used your experience and skill to teach others how to uncover the power of hospitality through innovative consulting, acquisitions, and even investment strategies. You have been recognized for your leadership, achievement, and humanitarianism, and your chefs have earned an unprecedented 28 James Beard Awards. In recognition of your investments in and dedication to hospitality and to serving others, your community, and the college, I have the honor of presenting you, Danny Meyer, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. All right. There we go. Okay. This year's commencement address will be delivered by Danny Meyer.
There we go. President Burger Sweeney, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished members of the faculty, proud parents, remarkable members of the class of 2024. Congratulations to each one of you for completing one of life's great journeys. This is an extraordinary liberal arts college, and you have made the best of it. It's my great honor to celebrate this proud moment along with you. Your commitment, hard work, and perseverance have all paid off, and I'm confident that you are more than ready now to write the next amazing chapters in the book of you. I want to take this moment also to thank once again the parents who have had so much to do with forming who you are to get you here. I was here with my own parents 44 years ago, and I'm really grateful to know that my mother can watch this, thanks to technology, in St. Louis in real time. So thank you, Trinity, for making that happen. Back when I was graduating 'neath these same elms, our speaker expressed his confidence that at last we were ready to enter the real world. Well, with all due respect, class of 2024, you don't need me to tell you that you've already been living in the real world. Your years have coincided with abundant adversity, and you are the generation our world needs more than ever to thoughtfully engage in solving some really tough problems. Your experiences while at Trinity have shown to you that active listening, engaging in courageous dialogue, and assuming the best intentions of others is almost always the best way forward. Please employ those skills generously. They will stand you and the world in very good stead. And as you listen to my stories today, I want you to focus on three messages. First, whenever you set off on a certain destination, be aware that the only real certainty is that you will encounter all kinds of surprising twists and turns along the way. The good news is that those surprises can actually work in your favor. So long as you're willing to challenge your own preconceived assumptions and be open to new possibilities, you will put yourself in a position to open unexpected doors, any one of which might just change the course of your life. Second, as you make the big choices, while it may be tempting to do the thing that others expect you to do, I challenge each one of you to listen carefully to your gut, to follow your passion, your heart, and to pursue what you really love. The best decisions I've made in my life have almost always stemmed from listening to my gut, which is at least as smart as my other brain and has always guided me as a most reliable compass. And third, just like the decision you made to enroll at this school, consider that all the important choices you'll be making from today forward are opportunities for active acts of enrollment. And each act of enrollment, whether it's taking a job or investing in a friendship, signing an apartment lease, committing to a life partner, having a child, or even just getting a puppy, each one of those acts should be viewed as an opportunity to commit, to go deeper, and to grow where you are planted. Of course, it's crucial to set aspirational goals and to go for what you want in life. But as someone who has never had a 5-year plan, I've also found that it's at least as thrilling when a compelling idea unexpectedly comes knocking on my door and that I'm prepared to open it and walk in. I think it's true that good luck favors the prepared. Your Trinity degree will open many doors for you, and rather than focusing only on the potential downsides of an opportunity, try hard to let yourself be open to the upside. I hope you will consider the most important question I ask myself every single day. What could possibly go right? Each of the stories I'm going to share with you now began with my being open to upside possibilities, listening to my gut and enrolling in something I had never quite planned for. Let's start with this. I never even expected to apply to Trinity in the first place. But thanks to a chance meeting in Rome between my father and Trinity's then General Counsel, Tom Lips, my dad and I decided to visit the campus. Tom was good enough to host a dinner for us along with his wife, sold me on applying to Trinity, and even sent me home with a beautiful drawing of Trinity's chapel, encouraging me to hang it in my freshman dorm room when I would get to Trinity. I thought I was in. But on a spring St. Louis afternoon in mid-March 1976, as I neared the high school finish line with a Hall of Fame case of senioritis, I anxiously awaited the daily visit from our mailman so that I could find out which of the 3 schools to which I had applied had accepted me. Yes, just 3. The postman pulled up to our mailbox, and I ran out to learn where I'd be spending the next 4 years of my life. There was a lot of mail that day, but it was easy to pick out the letters addressed to me. They were the 3 razor-thin envelopes, each one containing just a single sheet of paper. Rejected from Princeton, rejected from Brown, waitlisted at Trinity, and accepted nowhere. Far from being my safety school, Trinity would need to become my savior school. I sat down to write the most important letter of my entire life to Trinity's Dean of Admissions, explaining why I knew that we were just right for each other. I committed to enrolling at Trinity if only they would take me off the wait list. Well, clearly, I wouldn't be here with you today had the admissions department not found it in their hearts to find a spot for me. And I will tell you that attending Trinity, a school I had barely even been aware of growing up in St. Louis before applying here, had been the furthest thing from my mind when I had first set out to apply to colleges. It's not a stretch to say that the 4 years I spent here completely changed the course of my life, and in specific ways no other school could have. And I'd like to explain. As an off-the-waitlist freshman student, I had a lot to prove both to myself and to Trinity. I had been a world-class underachiever in high school, and as a Trinity freshman, I vowed to rectify things by going on performance overdrive, enrolling in any opportunity I could find, and applying myself as never before. I selected political science as my major, joined the college radio station as news director, and became the school's first freshman to enroll in the legislative internship program for my spring semester. With that internship, I was given permission to have a car on campus, something freshmen back then were not entitled to have, and I persuaded my parents to allow me to drive the old station wagon from St. Louis to Hartford. That car reliably got me back and forth from the state capitol, but even more importantly, I used it as my vehicle for discovery, feeding my curiosity and developing my passions. In that car, I explored the neighborhoods and restaurants of Hartford, and every 3rd or 4th weekend, I would head to New York City to experience the electric jolt of the Big Apple, going to incredible restaurants, jazz clubs, Broadway shows, art museums. I even drove that car from Hartford to Belmont Park Racetrack, honing my horse race handicapping skills so that I could teach a class on how to pick winners at the races for Trinity's Free University. I never imagined that one day I would open a restaurant in New York, nor that eventually I'd be serving food in art museums, theaters, a jazz club, and even in racetracks and ballparks. Each one of those interests nurtured while I was at Trinity. During my junior year, I helped to organize Trinity's first international politics seminar for the Rome campus, along with one of my beloved poli-sci professors, Bert Gassman. Dr. Gassman said he would be very open to teaching a semester-long curriculum for us in Rome, and the registrar promised he would give it the green light if only we could succeed at finding 10 other poli-sci students to enroll. Well, that part was easy. Who in the world wouldn't want to spend a spring semester studying their favorite subject in Rome? My classmates and I studied Italian political history. We took advanced Italian language classes, interned at the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, and did research at historic libraries throughout the city. I would always select my go-to library based on its proximity to wherever I could find the best cafe macchiato or gelato. I got pretty good at speaking Italian and became expert at reading restaurant menus. I used every possible free moment I had to scour the city's trattorias and ate at as many of them as I could afford. I was literally listening to my gut and unwittingly gaining a culinary education that would serve me in a future career I had never consciously considered. Returning to Trinity for my senior year, I rejoined WRTC, this time as a jazz DJ with my own show called Jazz Set with Dan Meyer. I continued along the path of my political science major, and as many of you may now be doing, I started to imagine my post-college future. The day after graduation, I shifted into high gear, trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life. Given my poli-sci major and deep interest in learning just about everything possible going on in the news, I returned home to the Midwest, and my first job was working pro bono in the political affairs department for the Chicago Public TV station. Next, I took a paying job as the Cook County field coordinator for Congressman John Anderson's independent presidential campaign. I had been volunteering on political campaigns since I was 10 years old, and thanks to my Trinity degree, this time I would actually be paid. I earned a whopping $214 a week. For those of you history buffs, John Anderson earned 6.6% of the popular vote, which was decent for a third-party candidate, but he was still trounced by Ronald Reagan and the incumbent Jimmy Carter. The 1980 presidential race offered me a valuable learning experience, not just in politics, but also in leadership. Because before that job, I had never been anyone's boss. And since 100% of the campaign workers who reported to me were volunteers, I had to learn the importance of leading and motivating people with a higher purpose rather than a higher paycheck. I hope you will all be fortunate enough to find work whose purpose is as rewarding as your paycheck. Exhausted from the campaign, I decided to take a break from politics, and I spent a year of my life in New York City, just to experience what that city was like to live in. And after that, I would move back home to the Midwest. Those were my certain plans. At this point, I was not focusing on any specific career path. In fact, I was open to taking practically any job to help pay my New York City rent for that 1 year. I interviewed for a job that had absolutely nothing to do with politics, journalism, or law, but it was a job. I would be special projects manager for a company that sold electronic tags to prevent shoplifters. I would be paid $16,500 a year, barely enough to afford the one-bedroom walk-up apartment I was sharing with a classmate from Trinity. My boss assigned me to train under one of the company's top salesmen who was responsible for the entire New York territory. I tagged along on his sales calls every day and began to learn how to sell, turning an intuitive gift for pleasing people into an intentional strategy. Within just 2 months of joining the company, the man who had been training me was lured away by our chief competitor. And despite having practically no sales experience, the company offered me his job, responsible for all of New York. I thought for a moment about what it might be like to tell my parents that I would be parlaying my Trinity education into selling a product to catch shoplifters. But I was the boss of my own life now, just as you are. And so I listened to my gut, and I went for it. After all, what could possibly go right? I quickly learned that sales was a very important skill to have, and just as swiftly discovered that I was good at it. I loved working for myself, out of my own apartment office, and enjoyed the perk of having my own company car with a fully paid garage space, something none of my friends in Manhattan had. I would hop around town in my powder blue Volkswagen Rabbit to make sales calls in some of New York's sketchier neighborhoods, the ones where shoplifting was the most rampant. I would schedule all of my sales appointments to be convenient to whichever local restaurant I had scoped out for my lunch break. I also found out that I was highly motivated by earning commissions. Almost overnight, the young guy in the powder blue rabbit had become the company's top salesperson. A job I had never imagined having or wanting had come knocking on my door, and I never expected I would be making $125,000 a year in sales commissions. That was a hell of a lot of money back then, and it was ample incentive to keep living in New York beyond the 1 year I had promised myself. I invested a lion's share of my commissions into the company's public stock, which at the time grew from around $3 to $13 per share. To this day, I regret taking only one economics class while I was at Trinity. But despite that, I was now getting some pretty solid financial schooling. As much fun as I was having making enough money to really enjoy New York City, I was 25, and I already knew that sales would not be my last job. So I decided it was time to get serious about my future. Many of my friends seemed to have already chosen their permanent vocations. Reinsurance, banking, accounting, consulting were really big back then. None of those appealed to me whatsoever, and increasingly I became anxious about missing my own career boat. So I turned my attention back to the things my diploma and internal self-talk had told me I was supposed to pursue, journalism or law. I summoned the courage to resign my sales job and embarked on a tour of graduate schools. I enjoyed visiting a handful of campuses, but the most memorable part of those school trips was the opportunity to experience the local restaurants, especially in San Francisco and Chicago. By this time, I had lost interest in pursuing a career in journalism, but with the continuing interest in politics, I decided I should apply to law school. After all, what was my poli-sci degree for anyway? The night before taking my LSAT, my aunt and uncle invited me to join them for dinner at Elio's, my favorite Upper East Side Italian restaurant. I knew I would need to make it an especially early Friday night, and seeing that I was in an uncharacteristically anxious mood, my uncle asked me whether something was wrong. "I need to take my LSAT tomorrow morning," I said. "Well, of course you do," he countered. "You want to be a lawyer, don't you?" I looked away. "Actually," I said, "I don't think so." My uncle was incredulous, almost angry. "Do you have any idea how long you're going to be dead?" "No," I responded. "Well, I have no idea either," he said, "but I'll tell you one thing, you're going to be dead a hell of a lot longer than you're going to be alive. Why in the world would you waste your precious life pursuing something you have no passion for?" "Because I'm not sure what else I could do," I said, growing more meek by the moment. "You got to be kidding me," said my uncle. "For your entire life, all I've ever heard you talk about is how much you love food and restaurants." I asked, "So are you suggesting I just eat in restaurants for the rest of my life?" "Of course not. You should open one." This possibility was something that had never even remotely occurred to me. Hadn't I spent the last several years of my life preparing for a real career in a real field, one that my family would actually approve of? What would they say if I were to tell them that I had scrapped my interest in journalism and law and was now trading it all in to go into the restaurant business? Back in the 1980s, no one did that. Restaurants were not considered anywhere close to being a valid career choice for someone privileged enough to have earned a bachelor's degree in political science from Trinity College. I tossed and turned in bed that night, and early the next morning I took the LSAT. But my mind was distracted. By pointing to a passion of mine that was in plain sight right under my nose, my uncle had seriously activated an itch in me, whose existence I had been repressing to the point of being in deep denial. The next day, I called a former roommate and fraternity brother from Trinity. Like many of my friends at the time, he was putting his econ major to use working at a bank training program on Wall Street. I said to him, "I think I want to open a restaurant. Want to join me? I'll be the food guy, you be the money guy." I invited him to take a restaurant management course with me. Calling upon my sales skills, I said, "Just take the class with me. Maybe you'll like it." Well, I took the initiative to enroll the two of us. My friend joined me for the first 2 of 12 classes, but I could see that his heart was not in it at all. And after the second class, wisely, he let me know that he would be dropping out. I was disappointed, but I knew that this was my passion, not his. He generously arranged for me to get a job interview with the one restaurant client his bank worked with. After a 2-minute interview, during which the restaurateur simply looked me up and down from head to toe, paused for 2 seconds, and then concluded, "You'll do." I hope your interviews are that easy. I found myself with a new job offer. For $250 a week, I would be the restaurant's assistant lunch manager. I needed to scratch my restaurant itch, and fortunately had saved more than enough money from my sales commissions to be able to afford to take this job. I asked myself, what could possibly go right? And so I accepted the offer. This would be the only way to find out whether or not life in the restaurant business might be for me. If I liked it, I'd keep working until I had learned enough to open a restaurant of my own. And if I hated it, I could just as easily get another job and return to simply eating in restaurants. It turns out that an itch may be one of the gut's most effective ways of expressing itself. Listen carefully when you get that itch. Minutes after beginning my first morning of work on this job, I had never anticipated, which I had only gotten via an introduction from a friend who I had met at a school I had never imagined attending and nearly hadn't even gotten into, something went very right. Just as I was heading down the stairs to the restaurant's basement to answer the reservations phone, running up those stairs was a beautiful young woman carrying a tray of butter-filled ramekins. Our eyes met with a smiling glance, and that was that. Day one, and I already sensed I was going to like this new career. But on my second day of work, she was gone. Doing some discreet but determined detective work, I learned that the woman with whom I had exchanged that brief smile was an actress named Audrey, and that she would be away for 10 weeks, having just been cast to play Sarah Brown, the lead role in Guys and Dolls, at a dinner theater in Indiana. Well, that was fun while it lasted. I fell in love with restaurant life, and after just 7 months, it was very clear to me that I wanted to open a restaurant of my own. To bolster my experience and preparation, I made plans to study professional cooking in Italy and France. Audrey had now returned to the restaurant, and there was just one more thing I had to take care of. On my final day of work at the restaurant, before going to Europe, I gathered the courage to ask her out. Despite my telling Audrey that it was now my turn to be away for a few months, it was a promising first date. We went to a Broadway play, dined and drank at 3 different restaurants, and did not run out of things to talk about well into the morning. A few weeks later, I was off to Europe, and I spent a month by myself in Italy, eating my way through Rome, Bologna, and Sardinia. Tough life. I took classes from a cookbook author in Milan, putting the Italian language skills I had learned at Trinity to very good daily use. I had also taken some French at Trinity, and France would be next, where I enrolled as a kitchen stagiaire at 2 restaurants in Bordeaux. My dream was to create a restaurant that, if only it existed, would be my favorite restaurant in the world. Well, less than 1 year later, at 27 years old, I opened Union Square Cafe. What could possibly go right? It turns out a lot. This may sound odd, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. I've now been in the hospitality business for 40 years, and I've always found all kinds of ways to shake things up for myself, reimagine my career, and to keep it fresh. Sometimes I do that by imagining a new restaurant to open, and there have been a lot of them. I've written cookbooks, a business book, launched a hospitality consulting business, and even started an investment fund with another of my Trinity roommates. I've joined all kinds of outside boards, some for profit, some philanthropic, and notably some wonderful years here at Trinity College. I always strive to follow my passions, keep growing, learning, and asking myself what could possibly go right. And crucially, at almost every step of the way, I've managed to avoid a trap, which I used to set for myself, and I truly hope you never will. And that is to pursue things to please others, taking the expected path a voice tells me I should do, while ignoring my gut and what my heart tells me I want to do. There was a time that I was nearly immobilized, trying to make the perfect next choice for what I imagined others expected of me, when all I needed to have done was to make the next good choice for me. Audrey and I have now been married for almost 36 years. She has a thriving acting and singing career, and we are blessed to have 4 wonderful children, each one of whom, I'm proud to say, is avidly pursuing their own respective passions. Hallie is making ice cream, Charles is making music, Peyton will be a doctor, And Gretchen, a Bantam and Trinitone who graduated on this very lawn with the class of 2020, is now a teacher getting her master's in social work and early childhood special education. We are blessed to have a son-in-law and a granddaughter who we adore. We go to Italy at least once a year, and we even have an Italian truffle dog named Macchiato. I did not and could not have planned for any of this. Not Trinity College, not this family, not New York, not a career in hospitality, not Shake Shack, not the honor of being with you today. None of it. With the benefit of time and hindsight, I'm pretty confident that the most consequential day in my life was the day that Trinity College waitlisted me, followed by the day I was accepted here and committed to enrolling. Because that first day ignited a lifetime of fire in my belly to prove to myself that I could measure up. And the second day set up nearly every single unexpected blessing in my life, beginning with my family and, of course, my career. So much that is great in my life today owes its origins to things that happened for me because I enrolled here. I'm confident that there are abundant abstract pieces of your lives, many connected to your 4 years here, that will also fit together in ways you cannot possibly know today. Congratulations again to the class of 2024 for the amazing achievement each one of you is celebrating today. And as you embark on your next journey, I encourage you to follow your dreams. Always listen to your gut and to your heart. Stay true to your values. Work hard. Be kind to people. Address conflict head-on by engaging in constructive dialogue. Be an active citizen. Vote. And above all, always stay wide open to the unexpected possibilities that present themselves to you when you ask yourself, what could possibly go right? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Danny, for sharing your life. It was really a wonderful speech. So it's now my turn to say a few words to the graduating class. As we close out our bicentennial year, we do so knowing that you play a part in Trinity's history and future. You are the first graduating class of our 3rd century. That's you. This has been an extraordinary and complicated year, marked by moments of joy, but also sadness and tension. Certainly, recent media coverage has focused on student protests across the country. It is the work of a college to foster the intellectual independence of our students so they can develop well-informed opinions and cultivate their voice. This is our bicentennial commitment to the future. We are a community, and as a community, part of what this year has taught us is how to hold firm to what we believe and how to care for one another. I am grateful that we remain a community that believes in our convictions while choosing to respect one another, even in the face of difficulty and conflicting beliefs. The year also was unusual in that we lost beloved members. Among them, Vice President for Advancement Michael Casey, Professor of Language and Culture Studies Johannes Eveline, and most recently, our colleague in campus safety, Jorge Lugo, all who truly loved this community. In the fall, one of our own, rising junior Tassin Ali Ahmed, was shot while walking in Vermont with his childhood friends and wearing the keffiyeh of his Palestinian tradition. And let's also remember Jillian Hegarty, your classmate who died too soon. It is in her honor that we have left a seat here next to you and your class and laid a brick in her memory on the lower Long Walk. And while there have been challenges, let us also take a moment to remember the pride and celebration. They should not be overshadowed. You are part of Trinity College's bicentennial. This community came together so many times this year. 2 academic symposia, the bicentennial fall weekend, and sold-out performances of joy in Austin Arts Center. From the Cinestudio film series to last weekend's gala, where we established the bicentennial Hartford Scholarship. In total, more than 11,000 people participated as a connected community. We share many academic successes this year, too many to recount. Trinity was named a top producer of Fulbright Scholars. Professor Pablo Delano was selected for a major art installation at the prestigious Venice Biennale. I was honored to award the first ever President's Medal for Science and Innovation to alumnus Eric Fossum, who changed the world with the little camera that's in all of our cell phones. I am also very proud of our athletics teams who continue to compete with heart and integrity. Squash, football, soccer, basketball, lacrosse, crew, hockey, track and field. I'm sure I've forgotten 1 or 2, but they all competed at the top of their leagues this year. Congratulations. Indeed, you may be sitting next to a future world changer right now. You may be sitting next to a future president. Or you just might be that person whom classmates will say, "I knew you when." Life is unpredictable, but knowing what you value, whom you can turn to, and how to care for one another as friends, classmates, mentors. These are the lessons we learn in this connected community. After you leave today, remember the respect and engagement that you have shared with one another. Lean on one another during times of challenge and joy. Now, it wouldn't be one of my commencement speeches, or for that matter, any one of my speeches, if I didn't talk about a book that I've read recently. This year, I've chosen a book that reminded me why I love to read so much. American author and physician Abraham Verghese took 14 years to write The Covenant of Water. I dare call this sweeping 700-page epic novel a modern masterpiece. The novel spans 77 years, from 1900 to 1977, and tells the story of 3 generations of a St. Thomas Orthodox Christian family living in the town of Perambel in southwest India. Verghese describes the watery land of Travancore, later known as the state of Kerala, as, I quote, rivulets and canals, a lattice work of lakes and lagoons, a maze of backwater and bottle green lotus ponds. We follow a young 12-year-old girl named Mariama, who becomes known as Big Amachi, or Big Mother, after she travels on a river journey to marry a 40-year-old widower and act as mother to his young son, Jojo. We follow Big Amachi's life, the joys of family, the sorrow of death, the suffering of maladies. Her life flows like the strength and power of the waters of the river. And so are the twists and turns of Big Amachi's life. According to Tao Te Ching, nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water, yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. Fergé's writes poetically and introduces us to complex, beautiful characters. He opened my eyes to a world so distant and so different from my own world here. As a physician and administrator at the Stanford University School of Medicine, Fergé's is a man of both science and letters. He infuses into his story ailments that are mysterious and untreated, that suffuse secrets and suffering into Big Amachi's world. And the plot unfolds unexpectedly like the bends of a flowing river. This book offers lessons that I want to share. First, if you leave here with one sentiment today, let it be this: never stop learning or finding wonder in books. This book opened my eyes to a whole new world. I didn't know there was a community of native Christians who lived in southern Italy since the 2nd century AD. Even at my age, I find wonder in new things I learn. Second, never stop seeking answers. I do not see science, spirituality, and creativity as separate. They are completely interwoven. As a neuroscientist, I found the book's scenes of medical study and clinical surgery fascinating, but I thought the same of the stories benevolent ghosts, devoted elephants, and mysterious curses. We, as human beings, use the tools we have to explain life's mysteries, whether it be by intellect or by imagination. Today, you leave this campus with the best tool possible: a liberal arts education. Make the most of this tool to find answers for the future that you seek. Third, embrace the unknowns of the journey of life. We heard a little bit about that from Danny. Life can pull you along like the currents of the waterways of Travancore. You can struggle against its currents, or you can let it reveal your next destination. Big Amachi could not always choose or predict every turn in her life. She found joy in so many quiet, beautiful moments. Never let apathy trap you, even when you don't know the outcome. We don't know what our lives will bring. We do not know what the rest of this crazy year will bring. But class of 2020, I do know this: your education does not end at graduation today. Your real-life education is just beginning. While I certainly hope that all of you get the job or graduate program of your dreams after you leave, more importantly, I hope that you take what you've learned here to make the world a better place, that you empower others to do the same. You hold the power to use this incredible tool of a liberal arts education to make your community a better place wherever you go. I hope you come back here to Trinity, your home, often. And I can't wait to hear about your many adventures. I can't wait to see what unfolds for you in the watery journey of life. make us proud, and congratulations.
And now we will begin the awarding of degrees. The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts will please rise. Madam President, I present these students who, pending completion of all requirements for the degree of Master of Arts, and upon certification by the faculty and by the trustees of Trinity College, will be officially admitted to the earned degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Trinity College, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts with all of the rights, honors, privileges, powers, and responsibilities of this distinction.
I now present those candidates receiving honors in graduate studies. Brian Callender. Jack Erlenbaugh. Alexandria Kulik. Margaret Helen Powers. Anne Skelding. This completes the list of master's candidates graduating with honors in graduate studies. We now proceed to the awarding of the remaining master's degrees. Genevieve Brewer. Eve Galanis. Kevin Patrick Cloth in absentia. Cyan Ariana Mannings. Matthew Moran. Fernando Rendon Lopez. Bridget Rivera Jamarillo. Joshua Lawrence Rocco. Sabrina Elizabeth Wilson. Madam President, this completes the awarding of degrees to our master's candidates. The candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science will please rise. This is the remainder of you.
All of you may rise.
Madam President, I present these students who, pending completion of all requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, and upon certification by the faculty and by the trustees of Trinity College, will be officially admitted to the earned degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of the college, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all the rights, honors, privileges, powers, and responsibilities of this distinction.
Henry Shapiro, summa cum laude, with honors in computer science. Hannah Lorenzo, summa cum laude, with honors in international studies, global studies. Kashwani Shanae Aarons. Bradley Harrison Abel. Michael Acito. Quinn Ackman. Lucy Adams. Advait Adik. Mamie Ifua Danzua Aidu, with honors in international studies, global studies, and American studies. Maywish Afridi. Vedika Agrawal. Hannah Ahern. Abayid Adrulal, cum laude. Pablo Gerardo Alejo Lopez. Renee Jennifer Alfaro. Hashim Ali. Matthew Almansi. Sophia Altair, magna cum laude, with honors in art history. Margaret Schultea Amaral, summa cum laude, with honors in American Studies and Hispanic Studies. Albert Ananyan, summa cum laude, with honors in Political Science and International Studies, Russian and Eurasian Studies. Alicia Ann Anchondo. Brianna Vaz Andrade. Jenna Andrews, with honors in Classical Studies. Luke Angelus Jr. Stephen Antogiovanni, cum laude, with honors in computer science. Rebecca Arabian, summa cum laude, with honors in classical studies and English. Alicia Aristel, with honors in neuroscience. Benjamin Atwood, magna cum laude, with honors in neuroscience. Dylan Dennis Auerbach. Anihit Avadyan, summa cum laude, with honors in computer science. Emmeline Esther Avignon, summa cum laude, with honors in international studies, global studies. Rabatu Ba. Hallie Backman, cum laude, with honors in educational studies and interdisciplinary human rights studies. Nicholas Badarak. Andrew Bailey. Nicholas Bailey, cum laude. Lee Elizabeth Bain, summa cum laude, with honors in political science. Sakina Bakar. Alexandra Bernice Barbosa Gonzalez, magna cum laude, with honors in engineering and physics. Tijani Barham. Jake Bersano. Peyton Barksdale. Alexandra Barrett. Jessica Bartell, with honors in English and environmental science. Asaf Batakrez. Spencer Aloysius Beakey. Matthew Manning Belcher. Michael Belcher. Sophia Margaret Belliveau. Priscilla Bello. Sarah Elizabeth Bello, magna cum laude, with honors in philosophy. Larry Bello Castillo. Caroline Courtney Bennett, summa cum laude. Matthew Berluti. Lauren Christina Bissett, magna cum laude, with honors in psychology and educational studies. Ashira Biswas, cum laude. Larnd Russell Blanchard. Alexander James Blakely. Nicolette Marie Blum. Terrence Odell Bogan. Shaylee Renee Boger. Benjamin Bogner. Corrine Bolding. Mason Bolivar. Catherine Huntington Borden, magna cum laude. Jonas Botner, summa cum laude, with honors in physics. India Bracey. Marilyn Louise Brock, summa cum laude, with honors in public policy and law. Connor O'Brien Bradley, public policy and law. Olivia Grace Brado, summa cum laude, with honors in biochemistry and French. Marco Bragado, summa cum laude. Andrew Gerard Bryden. Teodora Bernovich, summa cum laude, with honors in sociology and Italian studies. Madeline Broderick. Peter Bronson. Ian Brown. John Dawson Brown. Christian Anderson Brun, cum laude. Abby Lee Brunton, summa cum laude. Caitlin Bierman. Connor Todd Bittner. William Paul Bundy, Jr. Samuel Berg, summa cum laude, with honors in history. Jasmine Burns. Shay Burns, with honors in French. Sean Cahill. C.G. Shai. C.G. Shai. Daniel Calderon. Benjamin Callahan Gold. Riley Campbell. John Campo-Manosi. Ella Campopiano, summa cum laude, with honors in English and American Studies. Jackson Camperin. Sean Cangiano, with honors in psychology. Peters Angus Cannon, cum laude. Jonathan Carafotis. Shelby Carranza. Oliver Miguel Carrasco Lapax. Jack Carroll, summa cum laude, with honors in political science. James Carroll III. Anthony Casillo, Jr. Alex Chang. Julia Carol Cheeseman, summa cum laude, with honors in environmental science. Jiahao Cheng. Christopher Chisera, summa cum laude, with honors in political science and philosophy. Simona Maria Christian, cum laude, with honors in art history. Jason Cloherty. Sabrina Klumek, with honors in economics. Luca Coelho. Ian Coffey. Guy Collison. Quincy Connell. Cameron Corliss. Amelia Doherty Cotins. Catherine Schuyler Coughlin, with honors in art history. Maria Knoyer, cum laude, with honors in engineering. Benjamin Craig. Lola Craig. Samuel Craven. Sydney Cross Watts. Nicholas Crotty. Dane Crowley. Kamal Cumberbatch. Luz Mariana Cumpa Gomez, summa cum laude with honors in neuroscience. Colin Cunningham. Enzi Dabner. Shireen Rohinton Dadina, cum laude, honors in neuroscience. Amita Daga, cum laude. Anthony Jude Daher. Lola Davis, magna cum laude. Jacob Deck, cum laude. Luca Di Lancelotti in absentia. Katerina Samantha Anna De Lorenzo. Matthew DePonte. Tyler D. Simone. Gabrielle Durochers. Andrew Egan DeWitt, Jr. Juliana Kira Diamantis. Ashley Alexandra Diaz. Emily Cronin Dorico. Evans Johan. Charlotte Claire Dockery. Nicholas Guy Delonte. Olivia Isabel Almeida Domingos, cum laude. James Donaldson. Patrick Donovan Jenkins, cum laude. Kevin Doyle. Anthony Duprow. Sarah Durkee, summa cum laude, with honors in philosophy and interdisciplinary computing with philosophy. Catherine Laura Dustin, cum laude. Elizabeth Fisher Dwinell. Naomi Dyer, summa cum laude, with honors in English and psychology. Evan Maurice Eldermeyer, with honors in environmental science. Ali El-Tuki. Bridget Margaret Emerson, magna cum laude, with honors in psychology. Erin Amirli. Kartik Venkata Arudula. Sophia Falcone, cum laude. Ashley Feary. Fiona Fearon, summa cum laude, with honors in chemistry. Hannah Feinberg. Maria Figueroa, magna cum laude, with honors in anthropology. Ashley Fitzgerald. Tess Flanders. Sarah Marie Flores, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies. Griffin Fleur. Matthew Flynn, magna cum laude. Lars Mallet Forsgren. William Frame, cum laude. Jacqueline Frank. Caroline Ruth Frederick, summa cum laude, with honors in theater and dance. Tyler Frederick. Juliette Freeheit, cum laude. Adam Scott Frost, cum laude. Dahlia Galante, cum laude, with honors in English. Anna Galicchio, summa cum laude, with honors in sociology. Brooks Gamble. Abigail Gandini. Chunning Gao. Henry Gear. John Geary. Isuding Baraket Gabramarium, cum laude, with honors in engineering. Elizabeth Geisler. Mariam Galou, with honors in neuroscience. Tyler Gillette, cum laude, with honors in engineering. Barry Rosa Nicolay Gilmore. Julia Gilda Agnes Giordano, with honors in anthropology. Isabella Carolina Giordano, cum laude, with honors in art history. Erin Gerard. Alden Walcott Glovsky. Timothy Glynn. John Godin. David Gahn. Yuja Gahn. Jonathan Lloyd Goodridge. Emily Grady, cum laude. Gabriella Simone Groton, magna cum laude. Jaquise LaShawn Green. Jonah Green. Tyler Griffin. Jennifer Guider. Kiet Ha, with honors in computer science. Brendan Haddad. Elizabeth Hastings Hall, with honors in French. Cecilia Ann Hampton, cum laude, with honors in American Studies. Dion Hardy. Thomas Harkin. August Hillebrand Hartman. Alexis Hasbrook. Christian Hayes. Marianne Hazelton. Dinjo Hay, magna cum laude, with honors in educational studies in absentia. Emma Lauren Hersum, summa cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies and political science. Hail Mutanam Hezkok. Robert Hinton, cum laude, with honors in English. Regan Hoare. Robert Hoffert, magna cum laude. Abigail Holland. Elena Holmes. Molly Ann Hornick, with honors in German studies. Calvin Horning, summa cum laude, with honors in urban studies. SC. Claire Beverly Hu, summa cum laude, with honors in psychology. Brandon Ryan Hudson. George Edward Holt. Madeline Highland, magna cum laude. Laurel Iorio, magna cum laude, with honors in urban studies. Ismail Irizarry. Tara Iyer, summa cum laude, with honors in political science and theater and dance. Ethan Jakunski. Kashish Jain. Chanel Nicole Jake. Demarest Janice, with honors in educational studies. Sebastian Jakes. Siju Jiang. Addison Johnson, cum laude, with honors in psychology. Seamus Johnston. Bridget Xavier Jones, with honors in art history. Edward Jones. Harrison Jones. Sophia Elizabeth Jones, summa cum laude, with honors in educational studies. Charlotte Jordan, cum laude. Vanya Karabagji. Jan Peter Kaufman, summa cum laude. Chloe Lynn Kevorkian. Naval Kuram, summa cum laude, with honors in political science and interdisciplinary human rights studies. Samantha Killian, summa cum laude, with honors in environmental science. Josephine Rhodey Kimball. Gaetano Blue King. Molly Elizabeth King, magna cum laude. Joshua Kinsella with honors in psychology. William Kirby. Garrett Kirk, summa cum laude. Miriam Kirillo, magna cum laude, with honors in neuroscience. Nora Kleiman, magna cum laude, with honors in neuroscience. Kate Kneebone, magna cum laude, with honors in biochemistry. Theodore Sedgwick Comyati. Zoe Serafina Cohn, cum laude.
Sarah Lacco. Arthi Carolina Lomberg, summa cum laude with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies. Evan Lamline. Carolyn Lampert. Helen Langer. Roswell Lonting, summa cum laude with honors in biology. Christopher Leprade. Jenna Mary Larson, cum laude. Sloan Latimer, with honors in educational studies. Yan Tong Lau. Min Tri Lei. Hannah LeClaire. Audrey Lee in absentia. Benjamin James Lee, summa cum laude, with honors in Italian studies. Cassandra Lee, cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies. Samuel Taylor Hudson Lee, summa cum laude, with honors in music and history. Margaret Lenoche, cum laude. Colin Leonard. Joseph Paul Lepore. Tobias L'Esperance, magna cum laude. Margaret Levesque. Anne Lavia. Alex Joseph Lewis. Griffin Lewis, cum laude in absentia. Jiawei Lee, magna cum laude with honors in history and international studies, global studies. Yu Hong Lee. Margaret Lindsay. Gregory Linton. Chi Li U. Yu Li O. Sophia Lobkowitz, magna cum laude with honors in American Studies. Marissa Lopez Ona, magna cum laude with honors in political science. Jackson Lowe's, summa cum laude. Benjamin Lundy. Allison Catherine Ruth Mucht, summa cum laude with honors in psychology. Keith Madison with honors in physics. Sharon Marr, cum laude. Aisha Malik. John Malone, cum laude with honors in classical studies. Tyler Manning. Leah Marcin Van Meter. Matea Markovich, cum laude. Matthew Maritolo, cum laude. Gerard Anthony Moretta, magna cum laude. Ashana Marshall, Charlie Martell. Diana Martinez Lee. Jack Matthews. Ferris Matraji. Emily Matson. Sarah Matson. Olivia Catherine Mora. Stephen Robert Maurer, magna cum laude with honors in neuroscience. Colin McCabe. Margaret McCarthy. Quinton McCauley. William McConnell. Dylan McDermott, magna cum laude. Emmett McGranigan, summa cum laude. Lily McGuirk, magna cum laude. Lily Kern McMahon, summa cum laude with honors in theater and dance. Olivia McMichael. Jake Daniel Hannafy McPhail, cum laude. John Paul Mella. Xavier Angel Mercado with honors in English and Educational Studies. Dante Merlin. Cal Messina. Sean Meth. Nicole Miara, cum laude. Carter Alexi Miller. Natalie Miller, cum laude. Kathy Miranda with honors in anthropology. Carliana Morante. Kano Mizuzue, magna cum laude with honors in computer science. Sophia Mohiban. Faith Monahan. Michael Monty with honors in computer science. Sadie Elizabeth Moran. Cecilia Angelica Morello, summa cum laude with honors in public policy and law. Brenner Morton. Alexander Ross Moscou. Peter Muse. Kennedy Mullen, magna cum laude. Jax Murray. Samantha Musanti, summa cum laude with honors in engineering and German studies. Kamal Frederick Nader. Daniel Nansaram. Abdelrahman Nassar. Jacob Amadou Njai. Harrison Flynn Needell. Christopher Neal. Carter Page Nelson. William James Nelson III. Harrison Nichols. Abigail Elizabeth Nick, summa cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies and political science. Emily Grace Nijalik. Cameron Nielsen, summa cum laude. Emily Ann Nigg. Julieta Nitido, summa cum laude. Enoch Nikuru, cum laude, with honors in computer science. Sean Patrick Noonan. Jillian Nugent, magna cum laude, with honors in psychology and Hispanic studies. Emily Gwyneth Nutting. Elizabeth Ochoa, magna cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies. Candida Ogu, summa cum laude. James Wheaton O'Hagan, magna cum laude, with honors in public policy and law and religious studies. Sean Opuebo. Abigail Rose O'Leary, summa cum laude. Maria Olmedo. Natalie Grace O'Laughlin, cum laude, with honors in urban studies. Yoshi Omi Jarrett. Jose Ordonez. Antonio Ortega. Joshua Zach Orujev. Robert Maximilian Ott, in absentia. Solandis Pack, environmental science. Alexandra Marie Palushik, with honors in environmental science. Jenna Papagiannis. Allison Mayline Paredes Nevada. Matthew James Pecora, cum laude. Jeffrey Richard Pendergast, Jr. Benjamin Pescad. Shay Christina Peterson. Jericho Petkovich, cum laude. Elizabeth Phelan, with honors in educational studies. Paige Catherine Phillips, summa cum laude, with honors in English and classical studies. Kaina Pierre. Rachel Place VI. Connor William Prusalis. Lucas Quigley Dunning. Colleen Quinn, summa cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies and international studies, global studies. Jenna Robkani. Thomas Rajic. Stephen Ramsden. Nicholas Randall, with honors in studio arts. Catherine Louise Raup, with honors in psychology. Michael James Regan. David Benjamin Reyes. Isaiah Randy Reyna. Dylan Reynolds. Emmanuel Reynoso Bernardo, with honors in chemistry. Casey Rhodes. William Rhodes. Hope Siobhan Robb. Alex Robert. Maxwell Robinson. Olivia Lauren Robinson, summa cum laude, with honors in English. Maximilian Roach. Andres Rodriguez. Kennedy Rogers. Michelle Ann Romero. Louise Sperry Roof. Saar Rosa. Sadie Greco Rudolph, cum laude. John Ryan. Lillian Rose Ryan, summa cum laude with honors in sociology. Peter Michael Ryan. Sean Ryan. Cora Faye Writing Sword, magna cum laude with honors in urban studies. Claire Victoria Sabi. Demosthenes Sampatakos, cum laude, with honors in biology. Sydney Ann Simpson. Eduardo Agustin Sanchez Carrion de Goitisolo, cum laude, with honors in computer science. Edwin Santana Funes. Lily Scalise. William Scannell. Christian Jake Schneider. Elizabeth Maeve Schomer, cum laude. Ingrid Shenborn, magna cum laude, with honors in neuroscience. John Gilpatrick Schreiber. Gabriella Seguino, magna cum laude, with honors in public policy and law. Eves Samano Gisibizo, magna cum laude, with honors in computer science. Luke Shapiro. Mohammed Sharaf. Tenzing Sharlung, with honors in sociology. Colin Sharp. Nina Sharp. Iyuen Shen. Shin Shi. Angelina Schultzina. Bliss Seidel. Victoria Simas, magna cum laude. Bernardo Simios, summa cum laude, with honors in computer science. Molly Moritz Simons, summa cum laude, with honors in American Studies. Chloe Lauren Miller Slater, summa cum laude. Curtis Slowly. Elena Lee Smith. Essence Unique Smith, cum laude. Frederick James Smith. Jacob Smith. Owen Dean Smith. Sophia Rose Sniffen, cum laude. Isha Sohail, magna cum laude. Sutita Somjan Mavong, cum laude, with honors in educational studies. Dante Angelo Soriano. Megan Spalding. Riley St. Pierre, cum laude. James Stefanowicz. Emma Frances Stover, cum laude. Lucas Stowe. Tiffany Stowers. Sabrina Rose Stratton. Samuel Strymish, summa cum laude, with honors in physics. Chloe Elizabeth Sturgeon. Connor Sullivan. Ayuba Surare, with honors in theater and dance. Cameron Swedler, with honors in classical studies. Kylie A. Taylor, cum laude. Maxwell Taylor. Vanessa Tebasigua. Bennett Ticino. Luther Terry III. Madigan Tershner Kolajetsky, cum laude, with honors in computer science. Sarah Elizabeth Tevis, with honors in language and culture studies, French and Hispanic studies. Sandeep Thapa. Kelly Marie Thomas, cum laude. Felix Chandler Beach Thompson. Kylie Tierney, summa cum laude. Zoe Tiffin. Dorothy May Tilden. Tyler Tishman. Chastity Titley, with honors in American Studies. Gianna Tito. Kyle Tomaso. Devin Tung. Kayla A. Torres. Justin Torres West. Aurora Trainee, magna cum laude, with honors in environmental science and urban studies. Michael Trainer. Hampton Trout Jr. Frederick Scott Tuck. Ugane Tumoaniti, summa cum laude, with honors in theater and dance. Prescott Tuneske. Tara Tweedy. Justice Tyner. Rashni Udham Singh. Devin Vane. Victoria Varsamis, cum laude. Melanie Vasquez. Camila Vela, cum laude. Mia Ann Verpult, magna cum laude, with honors in biology and German studies. Amanda Verga, with honors in educational studies. Emma Brooke Viennes, cum laude. Alyssa Vitale. Sophie Vogel. Carl Wadley. Yu Ya Wang. Casey Ward. Emma Wax, cum laude. Jackson D. Weissman, cum laude, with honors in music. Wesley Charles Welsh. Emma Grace Wellens, summa cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary film studies. Drake Wielden. Ethan Michael Wilkie. Lawton Niece Wilkins. Cassidy Willie Laws, magna cum laude, with honors in theater and dance. Joshua Wilson. Katrina Winfield. Leah Winters. Kane Woods. Rachel Wu. Christian Wertzreiner, magna cum laude, with honors in interdisciplinary human rights studies and American studies. Ji Shu. Jingdong Shu. Cooper Yasino. Wenju Young. Suhong Ye. Ethan Yerkes. Hannah Rose Young. Nouran Ali Amin Youssef. Christopher Zano. Nicholas Zelenskis. Sergio Zaldivar Morel. Zoe Angelica Zairfis. Xander Zabrowski, cum laude. Gabrielle Zacolela, in absentia. Will Jang. Xinyuan Zhang. Iwei Zhang. Jachun Cho, magna cum laude, with honors in economics. Jessica Japei Chu. Alexandra Jaravel, summa cum laude, with honors in political science. Claire Ziadi, cum laude. Catherine Ziozi. Andrew Zito, magna cum laude. Madam President, this completes the awarding of degrees.
Congratulations, class of 2024. Woo! Now here to welcome you on behalf of the Trinity College Alumni Association is Jorge Rodriguez, class of 1991.
Good afternoon, class of 2024. Exciting times. What a great day to be a Bantam. On behalf of the Trinity College Alumni Association, better known as the TCAA, welcome to the ranks of Trinity alumni across the world, all 30,000 strong. You may not think it now, but you will later. You have just been imparted an invaluable gift that will last a lifetime, a Trinity College education. On behalf of the alumni body, I say, cherish this moment. Cherish the friendships and faculty bonds that you have enjoyed on campus. Be bold and be proud of being a Bantam wherever you go. As the president of the TCAA, please know that our goals are to support you and keep you connected. Reach out to the Bantam Career Network. Stay engaged with the Career and Life Design Center. Take advantage of mentoring opportunities. And better yet, become a mentor after you settle into your career and share what you have learned. Remember, be involved and stay connected on social media. Your success is our success. Reach out when you need help. You didn't get through Trinity alone, and you will not leave Trinity alone. We are so proud of you today. Welcome to the alumni community. Please rise. And now you're free to declare your place in Trinity history as the Trinity College class of 2024 by tossing your cap. Congratulations.
'neath the elms of our old Trinity, on the hills of our old Trinity, in the halls of our dear old Trinity, there is bright merry cheer, there are friends true and dear, in the halls of our old Trinity. College days are from care and sorrow free, and oft will we seek in memory, those days that are past, for too joyous to last, 'neath the elms of our old Trinity. Then we'll sing to our old Trinity, to our dear old alma mater Trinity. We're together today, and tomorrow away, far away from our old Trinity.
In the spring of 1864, over 120 years ago, Abraham Lincoln was facing the uncertainty of the most consequential presidential election in the U.S. history. On the ballot was a choice: a republic without chattel slavery, or the resurgence of a slave empire. Having issued his Emancipation Proclamation nearly 18 months before, the work of exorcising the moral evil of slavery from the United States was not yet complete. In 1864, however, the odds seemed stacked against him. The nation was weary of war, and many were ready to make peace with the Confederacy, even if it meant the survival of the institution of slavery. In this context, President Lincoln told this story. A traveler on the frontier found himself out on his reckoning one night in a most inhospitable region. A terrific thunderstorm came up to add to his trouble. He floundered along until his horse at last gave out. The lightning afforded him the only clue to his way, but the peals of thunder were frightful. One bolt, which seemed to crash the earth beneath him, brought him to his knees. By no means a praying man, his petition was short and to the point. "O Lord, if it is all the same to you, give us a little more light and a little less noise." A little more light and a little less noise. I love this story. The traveler does not pray for the storm to end. Neither do they pray for more strength. They simply pray for the light to see their way ahead and a little less distraction. Dear graduates, beloved friends, you are Trinity graduates. Your liberal arts education is more than facts in your head, diplomas on your wall, and a bullet on your resume. It is knowledge and wisdom that will point the way to truth. It is light. As you leave this hallowed ground of learning with this light, I pray that you go with the light of compassion, the light of inquiry and curiosity, the light of humility, the light of justice and mercy, the light of wisdom and knowledge, and the light of love. This world is not what it ought to be. It is still becoming. You and I are still becoming, but you can make a difference using what you have learned here, what you have become here, to bend the moral arc of this universe toward dignity, toward community, and towards justice. So through the storms of life, through the uncertainties that will certainly arise, through the wind of adversity and the rain of discouragement, may your path be illuminated by just enough light to guide your footsteps wherever you go. Amen. And please remain standing for the retiring procession.
Thank you.